Hey guys, here's here's a first chapter on what we call using titles in video. We're going to go through a process of basically putting some text on the screen. Will help us out with the movie. You see titles quite a bit, and if I was to give you a definition of a title, it would be any representation of text on the screen while the movie is running. So I'm gonna cut over to the question set because I know you've got that here, and I'm going to answer that question. Would be any text that is represented on the screen during a movie. So there you go, first question answered. So you might think about different types of text. I know in lab work we're going to use supers, which I'll talk about in a quick second. But we're throwing text up on the screen to help. Anytime you want to use text, it's better to use text than to have somebody talk through the movie, that kind of thing. The other place you're going to see titles quite a bit are at the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie, which are called credits. There's different types of credits that you can use. We'll talk about that as we move forward, but I just kind of want to give you an introduction to what a title is, how you create one in Premiere, and some of the things you can create in terms of changing fonts and styles with the title. So let's open up Premiere. We're going to open up a project. We are going to be in our lesson folder. Go to your lesson folder on your desktop, and we're going to go into lesson 7, and I'm going to open up the Premiere project lesson 7.1. Double click that. It's going to ask you where is close-up gears. It's in the same folder. It's in the lesson 7 folder. I double click on close-up gears. There's only one video clip we're using in this particular lesson. So nothing new here. Here's your typical Premiere window. We've got close-up gears already in the timeline, so we're ready to go. And if you notice in your project window, it imported the movie close-up gears, but it also imported some finished text and some start text. And to kick in the title process, what I'd like you to do is these are two titles already created for you. And what we're going to do is just to mess around with the title, I want you to double-click on lesson 7.1 start text. And up comes the titler window is what this is called. Now, if your palettes and panels don't look just like mine, it's no biggie. You can rearrange and sort these things just by dragging on the ends. I've got my styles in the bottom. Yours might be up here. You can pull it out and put it into the bottom. And basically what this is just text that lays out over your movie. They've already laid out some text. It's called Gears of Progress. And we're going to mess around with some of this stuff. Some of these buttons will look familiar up here. You've got some text formatting ideas up here. You've got some other tools, some title actions we'll talk about real quickly, and title styles below, which give you a good idea of what the text is going to look like when you put a style on it. All a title style is, quite honestly, is a bunch of these adjustments already made for you. They change font, they change size, they change that kind of thing. Drop shadows are a big thing in the title styles. Some have drop shadows, some don't. So on and so forth. So with a combination of all these formatting tools up here, we've got some title specific tools down here. We got vertical text, horizontal text. We've got some alignment tools and distribution. But keep in mind the styles panel is just this panel kind of expanded out, which allows you to do a bunch of things all at once. Some of these should also look familiar, very familiar to in Photoshop, the paragraph palette, which had leading and tracking and kerning and that kind of things, those kinds of tools as well. So first things first, we're going to highlight our text here. They've already got some text in here, Gears in Progress. And what you're going to see, there's a bunch of boxes that appear around your title. Once text is laid out, you've got your defining lines within the text, but the very outside box out here, all the way around, is called a title safe window or a title safe margin. It's question 3 on your question set. The title safe margin gives you an outline as to where you can put your title so that it won't get clipped out when you actually render your movie. So I've got this Gears of Progress going on right here. The G of Gears was outside of this boundary right here. It would get clipped when the movie gets rendered. So it's kind of a safe zone. So I'll go back to the question set here. We'll answer that question. What is the title safe margin? The title safe margin is the area around the outside of the movie frame, which allows the user, oops, if I could type would be great, to see the boundaries for the title. So the area outside, the area around the outside of the movie frame, which allows the user to see the boundaries for the title. It just gives you a guideline as to where to put your title so that you don't get it clipped when you are rendering the movie in the end. So there's your first, we got 2 questions done already. We got our title safe margin and a definition of a title already. So I've highlighted the text. Once you highlight the text, you can see how this title style sheets work. And what you can do is you can click on any title style. The minute you click on the title style, it'll change a bunch of things about the text within the title. So you can go down through this and you can see how each one looks like as you move through these. You got some ugly ones. This is pretty gross right here. You could change color. But keep in mind, once you mess around with a style, you can also, I'll pick this one right here because it's gold, and you can see it change the font size as well. There's so many things you can change about the text here. So let's say I wanted to shrink that up a little bit because I lost an S on progress. I go over here to font size. I click on that, and I'm going to go down to 75. Now to shrink up the title. I've got leading and kerning and tracking. We'll mess with those things a little bit later. X position, Y position. I can change the font if I really want to. And I've got, let's go to Adobe Garamond Pro. That kind of fixes that. You can change some fill options. There's so much you can do. You can also change the fonts up here too as well. Let's say I want to bold it. Let's see what this does. Bolds it out a little bit. You got italics and underline. Obviously all the separate ones that we've used before in Word and so on and so forth. Let's go to Times New Roman. See what this looks like. I'm going to slide down on the menu. There's my Times New Roman. There it is right there. Times New Roman. What else are we changing here just to mess around? We're going to bold. Bold's already there. We're going to change the text size. Notice the text size. If I click in text size here or here, it doesn't matter. If I click in the box and start dragging, it increases it. I don't always have to type. And I'm going to make it big enough to the point where I'm still within my title safe margin, but not over it. So I've got that. We're looking through here. We can scale this anytime we want. Let's change the leading. We can change the leading. I'll go into leading and I'll go negative, because remember, leading can be negative as well. So let's go -10, see what that does. Tightens up the box a little bit from line to line. We've also got these vertical align, or vertical center, I should say, and horizontal center, which actually, these are 2 really cool tools which allow you to immediately take the text that you've just created and pop the titler right into the middle of those things. So that's pretty cool too. We are going to kind of it for now, but you can understand how titles get created right from here. The minute I click OK, I close down the titler window, I can actually roll the title. Now that I've got start text, I can roll the title right on top of the movie. And as you notice, you will see that I hit play now, and in my program window, the title appears right over the movie. Notice over here, I'll move my CTI back over. Notice the black around the title. Even though you're pulling up the titler window, you're actually seeing the video behind it. But in essence, really, the title has a black background, which is transparent. Okay? So understand that as we work through the titles, you'll see that sometimes it'll be black, but that's because there's no video behind it. But if I move the CTI over to where the video actually hits, and then pull up the title again, give it a second, you'll actually see the video behind it. So it all matters where you are on the timeline in Premiere. So that's one way to edit titles. If I pull up Finish, this is actually where the final finished title should be. So in reality, I kind of messed up the start title, so I'm going to get that out of the timeline, and I'm going to put in the finished title in. We're going to drag that into the timeline right here. So we're good there. We've actually taken the title, and we've changed it and then pulled it down into the timeline to actually put it into a movie. Let's delete that title. I'm done for now for this clip. We're going to come back and we're going to actually make a title from scratch.